First off, this isn't mine, if you couldn't tell. So when a game captures you so much that you have to pull yourself away from it just to make a lazy review with no corner videos because you want to get back to this game as quickly as possible, really, really tells you something. The single player to The Last of Us is just amazing. It's engrossing, it's enveloping, it's dramatic, it's emotional. There's quite a few twists and turns that will really keep you entertained. There's phenomenal voice acting, amazing graphics, amazing environment, amazing soundtrack, literally everything, I guess superficial wise about The Last of Us is just amazing. The gameplay in the single player is somewhat kind of like Deus Ex Human Revolution, except it's more memorable. For some reason, when I was done Deus Ex, I'm like, yes, that was a great game, but I didn't really remember the gameplay that much. Even right now, I still can't remember without going to, a video on YouTube. But with The Last of Us, I feel like it's ingrained in there because there's more options like, combat, stealth, all that typical stuff. But my subscribers should know that I'm not always the stealthy type. I would rather, take care of the enemies and move on. But with this game, it makes me want to be stealthy. It makes me want to avoid combat as much as possible, and I love that. I absolutely adore that mentality. Overall, there's just so many things that work together and in tandem that make The Last of Us single player just amazing once again. Plus, there's also tons of collectibles and places, nicks and, corners you can explore. And my very first playthrough on hard mode took me 15 hours or so to beat. So that right there is quite a good amount of time for the, most games nowadays. But also, there's tons of replayability with different difficulties, new game pluses, trophies, and all the other collectibles, including some amazing funny ones like Ellie's jokes. Instead of just picking something up, you wait for Ellie to, sit and talk to you and tell you some sometimes lame but hilarious jokes. It's just good job, Naughty Dog. Now, the bad stuff, although it really, really doesn't detract from the amazingness of this game at all. The AI is kind of shoddy at best, even, for and against you. With Ellie, sometimes the enemies don't spot her when they're, right in front of her. Sometimes she will blow your cover because she's not, being smart. And it just kind of takes you out of the immersion, I guess. There's also somewhat kind of warping issues, like you'll hit an enemy, but they won't die, and they'll start kind of like, glitch a little bit more one direction or another. There's also one where you want to hit somebody but it won't let you. The game won't let you for some reason, whether it's trying to figure out an animation or it's trying to figure out how to approach this attack. It's kind of dumb, but again, doesn't really take away from the experience. The multiplayer has to be probably one of the most amazing multiplayers ever crafted. Technically, there's only 2 game modes, Team Deathmatch and Elimination, but you won't feel like that's it at all. It's just so well tuned with how everything comes together with this new kind of clan system where your performance, both aggressive and defensive, affects your clan that helps you get unlockables, and it's this cool little meta game that is both at times kind of annoying and kind of fun. It adds this kind of another little layer of how, wow, I really got to do this or I got to really do that. But in the higher weeks and the higher difficulties, it does get annoying. So I would love it down the road if Naughty Dog could turn off option on this metagame. But right now, it's really something worth experiencing to a multiplayer aspect. Personally, I've run into a few freezing problems, but it was only temporary and everything went back to normal. However, on the forums, I've heard many things like there's data corrupts, people can't even start the game, there's black screens that, last forever, and then there's also, like booting out of a multiplayer menu, which can hurt that clan system I talked about. And it's just kind of annoying how these all happen and it's not really fixed. But again, despite the, handful of cons I just listed to you, none of these truly hamper The Last of Us as a whole. They're there, but you really won't care. So if you are a Naughty Dog fan and a PS3 gamer, definitely buy The Last of Us. Alright everyone, this is just like a post review type thing, and I want to touch upon this because some of you say, oh, why didn't you do the same as you did for Bioshock Infinite? Are you saying Bioshock Infinite is better? And no, I'm not saying that at all. What I did with the Bioshock Infinite review, and why I only made it 30 seconds of just me saying buy it, was I was trying to be humorous. I was trying to, do something differently that people wouldn't expect. And so I'm like, okay, Bioshock Infinite was a great game. People should buy it. And I figured, why not be humorous about it? Just upload a 30-second review saying buy it. Little did I know that, The Last of Us would come out and completely blow me away. Even with all the hype I had towards it, even all the expectations I had for it, it still just blew me away.